It's time for another Out of Bounds Rewind with Bo Bounds on ESPN 105.9, The Zone.
Auburn rushed for over 300 yards against Ole Miss. What do you think Brian Kelly, LSU head coach, and his offensive staff, what do you think the game plan will be against Ole Miss?
I think that's his bread and butter. He wants to run the ball. If it's with John Emery, Josh Williams, and Jaden Daniels, because now he becomes another piece of the running game where you're going to have to stop Daniels because he's been a big-time threat as a runner. He's going to have designated runs with Jaden, and he's done it all season long. So they're not going to reinvent the wheel here. They're going to go after Ole Miss trying to run the football. But you saw a little bit of connection with them and much better in the pitch and catch part of the game. And so I think they're going to set up that with the ability to try to run the football. But it is something Brian has always kind of coveted as a coach, the ability to control the tempo of a game. He talks about it a lot, about the physicality and the tempo of a game with running the football. And you just take a look at that film, and, that's what they're going to do. Now, can LSU stop the running game?
Right. All right, so let's flip over. Mike Detillier, LSU Insider. For us, this is the game of the week in this state and in the SEC, by far and away. Ole Miss at LSU, 2:30 CBS. Mike D on the Out of Bounds show and the Yuengling Lager guest line. So size that up for me. Lane, this offense is rolling on the ground. They're still a little shaky through the air. But how does that matchup look between Lane Train and Judkins, Evans, and Dart running against the LSU defense, Mike?
It's been hit and miss there, too, in the running game. I thought overall they did an average job against Florida. They gave up certainly some big plays in the running game. Tennessee got some big plays, and Tennessee pounded LSU with their running game. And so if I'm Ole Miss, I'm not reinventing the wheel either. I'm going after them. And Brian brought up very quickly yesterday that we have to tackle better, that we in a position to make a play, but sometimes don't do it. So I think both teams, you got to play to what you do best. Again, it's no mystery. Both teams are going to come out running the football against each other. And I think the big question mark is, and I think the real kind of check mark to the winner is, which one of the quarterbacks can make plays via the air?
Yeah.
That to me, I think both teams are going to give up yardage against the run because that's what both teams want to do. They want to run the football. But it's which of the two quarterbacks can make enough plays throwing it. And LSU special teams, they ain't been close to special. It's really been horrific most of the year.
Wow.
It's really been
That's
bad.
driving Brian Kelly crazy.
Yeah, because that's all he talked about. And I've talked to some of the players on the team, and they talked about, man, we spent a lot of time on special teams trying to work things out. And we saw it against Florida State. We saw the big run backs that they gave up against Mississippi State. Tennessee, you opened the game up and you fumbled the kickoff. Last week, Jack Bash fumbles a punt. And it's been one thing after another. And in a close game like this is going to be, you cannot lose the special teams part of the game.
I
cannot
agree.
lose it.
How about Lane Kiffin and Marty Biaggi, who his numbers are really, really good as a special teams coordinator, Mike D. How about that call that they made against Auburn at the exact right time on that onside kick? Auburn had grabbed some momentum, and Lane was trying to figure out a way to crush it, and they darn sure did with that onside kick.
Yeah, they sure did, and that was a great call. Again, when it works, it's a great call, right?
True.
When it doesn't work, man, then it makes you look like a big dummy. But it was a super call, and I think for me is it's going to be which one of the two quarterbacks can make the big plays via the air, and which one of the special teams doesn't make the mistake. Ole Miss has been much better on special teams than LSU, and you got to give that check mark off, big time, to Ole Miss at this stage. And ain't no Cade York bailing you out for LSU. Now Ramos came in and hit a field goal late for him, but they don't have that field goal kicker like they've had in previous years that can bail them out, and that to me is something that has drove Brian Kelly up the wall. Other than the turnovers on special teams, that's been a part of it.
Wow.
That he wants that big time place kicker. Bramlett's a pretty good punter now. I will say that. They brought him in from Notre Dame. He's done a good job on that end. But LSU special teams has been unbelievably bad.
Okay. So the line's 1.5, Mike, for LSU, but it started 2.5 Ole Miss. And pretty big swing there. It sounds like we just went through it. Damn, evenly matched teams. Games at
Very
LSU. LSU has more talent on paper, but Kiffin's done a very nice job through the portal. So are you expecting a one-possession game in the mid-20s? What are we looking at?
Yeah, I think that's what you're looking at, 27-24, 24-23. Something in that range is what you're looking at. And I think for people in Vegas, they feel somewhere along the line Ole Miss may get caught in a trap. And I think they've signaled out this game. There's no way it should be a 1.5-point game. Ole Miss should be favored by more than that. But it's not, because I think they believe that maybe LSU's got them at the right time, right place. We'll see if that happens. But, it's been the Marvel Mystery Tour for both quarterbacks, right? For Dart and also for Daniels.
Yeah.
And so that, to me, is the key part of the game. If Daniels plays like he did against Florida, then LSU win the game. But I've only seen that one time. Okay? It's not like he's been consistently that good. And Dart's had his moments also, where he's looked pretty well.
So do you think Kiffin has the advantage as far as his staff over Bronze? Kelly's?
I think that's pretty close. That's pretty close. LSU's coaching staff has really milked this team pretty well, talent-wise. And I think Brian's done a good job overall. Now, Kiffin's one of the best. He's one of the elite offensive play callers in the game.
No question.
I don't think there's any question.
Maybe the best, Mike, right now.
When you look at him, Josh Heupel.
Absolutely.
Those two guys kind of cut above. Now, Lincoln Riley's doing a good job out at USC, but, Lane, he learned how to change with the talent that was around him, and where he really wants to throw the football, and he was using that short pass like an extended handoff. And now this year, because his strength is his ability to run the football in a good offensive line, he's adjusted to that. You might say, well, all coaches do that. BS. All coaches don't. A lot of times they want to try to put the round peg in the square, They're going to want to do it their way, and it doesn't work out. I give Lane a lot of credit because he changed his philosophy a lot
Mm-hmm.
because of the talent level.
No, he's not married to anything. He's married to
No.
He's married to generating the most points possible with the personnel that he has. And really generating the most explosive plays possible, which then lead to more red zone trips, as you know, Mike, which then leads to more points. I mean, to me, that's where Lane has gone, unlike many others that you're referencing.
Yeah, and then, a couple weeks back, it was Mingo making the big plays in the passing game.
No doubt.
He had a feeling, because once a receiver gets hot, and because we've seen it here, if it was Jefferson, if it was Jamar Chase, if it was Kayshawn in the past, when they get hot, you keep feeding it to them. Hey, the ball's not that heavy. Catch it.
Don't miss one moment of the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Weekdays, 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. on ESPN 105.9. The Zone.